She was beautiful, she was smart, she was kind as she could be, and she was tough as nails.
Norma Berryhill, she was a larger-than-life figure with a brand name with great warmth and humility. She demonstrated an interest in who you were, what you were doing, what you were planning on. It was that was the personality of that family. And that was important to the growth of this medical school.
It was always very clear that she really believed in the sense of community of the medical school. That was a big part of her input to the school. She felt very strongly that the faculty should know each other, we should interact socially.
They had dinner parties all the time. My sister and I were the servants. We hung up the coats and the hats, and we served the plates and moved the plates and served the plates for the next course. And after everybody was gone, we washed the dishes. And I washed a heck of a lot of dishes.
She often would invite people to her house. There would be big Christmas parties, and always would emphasize the importance of not only having the faculty and their spouses, but their children.
Reese Berryhill was dean when I first came in 1946. With his wife, Norma, the two of them created a sort of a community of this generation of new recruits who were the founding faculty of the clinical part of the medical school. She went to extraordinary ends to make them feel at home.
Chapel Hill was really a village. And so you sort of knew everybody.
I think that she built on what was an ambience of Chapel Hill. She built on that and extended it to create really a sense of family among all of the faculty of the medical center.
I think everybody felt that sense of being a part of a bigger whole, and that was just a part of her. She enjoyed doing that. And I think it helped Dean Berryhill a great deal to kind of get the school moving in the right direction. And I think it had a lot to do with this collegial atmosphere of UNC, where there's tremendous support among the faculty. It's not a dog-eat-dog environment. We tend to enjoy helping each other. There's something here that's a little bit beyond these other places I've seen. It's almost hard to put your finger on, but it's on the other hand, it is palpable. Well, I think it's been a very successful idea that Stuart Bondurant initially had in the mid-1980s. The idea at the time was we have faculty who achieve national and international recognition, and some of them aren't known locally as well as they are internationally.
And so that's what was the germ of the idea, that we should take advantage of the wisdom that was among us and was being distributed all over the world, but not being distributed locally. I invited suggestions from all over, who can we name it after, and I was just so conscious of what Norma had given to the place, independent, in addition to Reese, different from what Reese gave it, and her legacy was still around.
It's hard to leave Chapel Hill. Once you're here, you love the place. And for many of us, I can't imagine leaving because it's been such a great environment to work in. And I think Mrs. Berryhill saw that, Dean Berryhill saw that.
We would never have succeeded if people had come and left. So most of the people working on the problems I'm working on have been here minimum of 10 years and most 20, 30 years, all working together effectively. Our faculty, who are very well respected in many, many different fields, are each respected in their field for their contributions, and there's no centrality of such recognition. Some of the people that we've been able to hire here, and I can say this with great assuredness, we've seen like blossoming like a flower. that people who were unhappy or less successful somewhere else but who had tremendous skill sets suddenly come into their own and are tremendously successful because of the culture. It's a small town where contributions can be recognized, where leadership is important, vision is important, strategy is important, and the degree of benefit from the investment is very large. I think that Dr. and Mrs. Berryhill had a vision that has been realized, you know, that as we recruit people here, the idea that they're part of a family, that it's a small town and that it's a safe and secure place, that people will respect the aspirations of new faculty, that faculty will have an opportunity for collaboration that would be impossible almost anywhere else. That's all true, and that's why a lot of people move here and stay here for their entire careers.
Well, you have a sense of awe at how productive people have been and how some of your closest friends have done so much that will ultimately improve the life of mankind.